Hi everyone, it's Brittany and Katie with the Q team in Rochester, New York. We're back this week with step 2 for our home buyers. And this week we are going to be talking about the home looking process and what it looks like once you figured out all of your finances and your timing and how we go about finding the homes that we're going to take a look at.
Yep. So at this point, you've discussed with your agent what you're looking for, what those wish lists, the must-have list, the deal breaker list, all of those factors in what you're looking for. So your agent, we're going to set you up on your portal search with really focusing in on those must-haves and those deal breakers and kind of making sure that all of those boxes are checked and seeing everything that's out there and that kind of fits your criteria.
I always warn people, it's going to send you everything that's on the market that fits your search criteria, which is why we ask for a list of must-haves. Because then you know if it's coming to your email, it fits all of your must-haves.
Yep.
In the portal, what I also like telling people is that it's directly through our system. So you are getting the most accurate, up-to-date information.
Real time.
You're getting the information that we have access to. So I think that's really helpful.
Yes.
And you'll have the opportunity to go in and favorite properties and send us notes and say, hey, this one says it's a 4-bedroom, but I only see 3. Is it really a 4-bedroom? Stuff like that we can see on our end. And then that'll give us an alert to, contact you and say, yes, this one does have 4 bedrooms. It fits almost everything that you're looking for. Let's go take a look at it.
Yep. And as we're looking, we browse the MLS and we're looking at all the new listings, all day, every day, pretty much. So as we see things that we think might be a good fit, we're going to send them to you. And you're going to be constantly updated real time with all of the new listings that may fit your criteria. So as you're getting those updates and you see something that you think might be a good fit or you want to check out in person, that's when we say, hey, reach out to us, send us a note right away, because we know a lot of things sell very quickly in the seller's market that we're in.
Yep.
So as things are selling quickly, we want to make sure that we're getting in there quickly. So you reach out to us, you say, hey, I really like this property and I want to take a look. And then we will set up a private showing for us to go with you to view the property, and then from there Katie kind of talk a little bit more about what do we do when we're looking, what do we look for.
Back to the showings real quick. People always say, how is it best for me to get to send you these addresses? And usually what I tell people is just send me a text with the address and say I want to see this one. And in our meeting from last week, we would have already determined what your availability is like during the week. So sometimes I've even already set up a showing for people on a house that I know will be a good fit, and I'm like, yeah, I already set it up for you. We can go in, this day and time or whatever, because I know that that's when you get out of work. So the open line of communication is super important.
Definitely.
But what to look for? Is that what I was going to do? What to look for
during your shot? So we're looking at the house. What do I look for as a buyer, and what are we looking for?
Yep. Okay. So as a buyer, you're going to go in and you're going to look at the rooms and the layout and the sizing and the stuff that's important to you. So
the neighborhood, street, the yard.
If you feel like you need a big kitchen, you're probably going to go to the kitchen first and say, how big is this kitchen? How does it feel? And that's the stuff that we want you guys to look at. From our end, we're going to be looking at the mechanicals and we're going to say, does this furnace look like it's from 1972 or does it look like it's newer? How did the roof look when I was walking in? How do the windows look? Do they look like they've been replaced? Are they the older windows that are still in good shape? Are we going to have any concerns about those? Hot water tank, stuff like that we don't want you guys to be bogged down with thinking about when you walk through a house. So just trust that we're always going to be looking at that stuff on your behalf as we're walking through while you're looking at the important stuff for you.
Yep. And we've been trained to, know what things to look for. We've been through a trillion inspections and things like that we know that are important.
Trillion's a lot.
Okay, maybe maybe a million. But we look at, the foundation, making sure there's no cracks in the foundation that we think might be concerning or water stains on the ceiling. All of that stuff that we want you to focus on. Does this feel like someplace that we could call our own, or do we see ourselves here? And then we're gonna point out things that we think are important for you to pay attention to have looked at, all of that kind of
good
stuff.
and bad.
Absolutely. And we know what your wants and your needs are. And if we're looking at something that, we're like, this is perfect, we love this, and we're like, remember we talked about you really needed 3 bedrooms and this only has, 2 really good, the third one's not really a bedroom or usable. We're going to remind you of those things to make sure that, you're not just going to be clouded by the excitement of it and you're being realistic too.
Nothing's getting overlooked.
For sure.
And a lot of people say, okay, but like I'm liking a lot of the listings that are coming through. The pictures are beautiful. How am I going to know which one is the right one for me?
And what I tell people is you're going to have kind of a checklist of, all these boxes of things you want to check. Nothing's going to be perfect, so nothing's going to check every single box. But when something checks most of your boxes and you'll just sort of get this feeling. It might not be this crazy big balloon drop of like, oh my God,
we don't bring confetti to our showing.
But you're going to get this feeling of like, I could really see ourselves here. And that's usually when you know that this could be one that we're going to maybe want to pursue.
Right. And it's so true. People always say like, do you really get that feeling? And you do. Like if you walk into a house and you just don't feel it, then you'll always not really feel it when you get home from work or home from whatever. But if you walk in and you just get that
homey,
like the feeling,
you'll
know it when you have it. Then that's something that every time you come home, you're gonna have that feeling. It's something that you're gonna love.
Yep. And so once you decide, like, I think this could really be a good fit, then we're going to talk through the whole process of, how do I write an offer? What are all the terms? What's the best price? Run a market analysis, determine what the seller's needs are, determine how we can put ourselves in the most competitive position possible. And we walk you through that whole process to write that offer, to hopefully get it accepted, to make it, get us to step 3, which we'll be discussing next week. But we're going to go kind of walk you through that. But I think that hopefully it was helpful for everyone to understand, how the showing process works, what to look for, how to know that it's potentially the one. Right. So we will see you all next week with what to do after you write an offer and what the next steps are when it's hopefully accepted.